Well, our 2023 epic Christmas trip across the country has begun. This is going to be our second time that we've done a 16-day trip in a marathon fashion. We did this in 2019 going to the Grand Canyon. So if you guys haven't seen that video, we'll leave a link up above and down in the description below as well, because we have a couple videos from there. But we are heading tonight for our first stop, which is going to be at Bass Pro Shop. Love overnighting at Bass Pro. And that's going to be in Tallahassee, Florida. So we're going to head tonight, drive about 4 hours, get up in the morning, and then we make it a long day of driving, second day to Little Rock.
This teacher is tired, but I had a wonderful day with my students. But I am ready for vacation. I'm ready for a couple weeks off to have some relaxation.
So here we are. We're at Bass Pro Shops in Tallahassee. We're set up. There's quite a few other people here. One of the campers, several semis here, and looks like there's some people sleeping in their cars. But as we're pulling in here, it's kind of funny. Allie, I should preface this by saying that I always recognize places that we've stopped, especially gas stations. I don't know why, but I'll be like, oh, remember when we stopped at that gas station? And she'll be like, no. Allie's like, no. We pull in here and Allie's like, you know, this looks just like that place that we stopped that time. I said, yeah, that the water leak happened. She's like, yeah. And I said, it is. This is the place we stopped. The Walmart's right next door.
And you know why I remember it so well? It's because it was so traumatic.
Yeah, that it was. And it was also when we were coming up here to scatter her mom's ashes. And, you know, this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be going by the cemetery in Union Springs, and she's going to put some new flowers, and we're going to tidy up the family plot there. Well, it was a very quiet night sleeping here, wasn't it? I mean, we didn't hear much of anything. We're up, we're having breakfast, and getting ready to hit the road. Got a long day's drive ahead of us. But just think of the bright side. We only have two of these. Two more of them to get to Dodge City.
Yeah.
Nice. This is the first time we've stopped at a Flying J to get gas that has a dedicated couple lanes for RV. So nice. Okay. Time to fill up. And it'd be nice if more gas stations would do this with the dedicated RV pump lanes. It's really nice. Easy in and easy out.
After 1,000 feet, turn right onto Chunanagi Avenue.
Well, we've stopped at our second stop here in Union Springs. This is our planned stop here at Piggly Wiggly. And we did feel like we scraped the bottom coming in these entrances here. I want to see if there's a different way to get out. And I need to get under there and make sure I didn't damage our landing gear. So we're going to head over to the cemetery, take care of what we have to do over there with the flowers and whatnot, and come back, hook up, and start heading towards Little Rock.
So we are here in Union Springs, Alabama, and we are going to the cemetery to change out the still flowers. We're going to be putting some flowers on my family's plot where we spread mom's ashes on her birthday.
Allie went in, got permission from the Piggly Wiggly where we're parked at to make sure it was okay just to leave the RV there for a little bit while we come down here to the cemetery. And everybody was very accommodating, so this shouldn't take too long. I allotted us 2 hours here, but I know it's not going to take 2 hours.
And I felt far away from the center of me.
I'm gonna fix these flower pots here. That one's broken on the base. That one, I think, probably has a broken base too. That's probably why they have it in the grass.
And there's nothing like some nothing to help you breathe.
What do you think? You like them? They look good?
So we just got through replacing the flowers at Allie's family's cemetery plot where we scattered her mom's ashes back in June. And I'm just giving her a moment alone because I know I needed a moment alone when I scattered my dad's ashes in November. It's been a tough couple years for losing a lot of people.
There's nothing quite like slowing down or time spent with a friend.
One of the things I wanted to discover on this trip, as compared to 2019 when we did it in the F-250 pulling the travel trailer, is am I going to get more tired driving the Class A on a trip like this compared to what I got tired with driving the truck. Now, granted, I was sick when we started off on that trip to the Grand Canyon, but those days were 750-mile, pretty much a day drives. So we're breaking this trip up a little bit more than that. We're stopping 3 stops along the way, but on the way home, we will be pretty much marathon tripping it back home. And I'm just curious to see, so far, I think it's more comfortable in the Class A. Obviously, it's more comfortable for Allie because she can get up, go to the bathroom, make a sandwich, go back and lay down if she wants. And definitely more comfortable for Nikki because she can get up and actually walk around a little bit if she wants. She doesn't do it much, but like last night when she was getting ready for wanting to stop for the night, she was getting up and pacing back and forth a little bit. But we're making good time. You know, we had a good time in Union Springs. Everything went well. We're getting kind of close to Birmingham. So I'm just letting the RV Trip Wizard take us the route that I have planned out. That's something else I was going to tell you guys about. If you've never heard of RV Trip Wizard, it's an awesome tool for planning out your trips. We registered and paid for it back in 2019 when we were getting ready to do our trip to the Grand Canyon. So it really makes it good for finding stops along the way. And I use it in conjunction with like Google Earth, and I've mapped out everything, where we're going to stop, where we're going to get gas. Obviously things can change, but it gives us a good, reference and starting point and ability to know where we're going at each stop.
So here we thought that the roads outside of Nashville were the worst. I don't know. I think the roads outside of Birmingham might beat them.
Oh, it definitely beats them.
This is horrible. They need to totally resurface this. This is ridiculous. We've almost bounced off the road several times. Sounds like the RV's coming apart. I keep looking at the tire pressures, making sure that there's not an issue with the tires. Ridiculous.
And there is no excuse for a road being this bad.
No.
Well, we've made it to Little Rock Cracker Barrel. I did have to unhook the Bronco in order to fit in the RV space, but not that big a deal. I've unhooked it. I've parked it over here. I am tired as all get out. This has been a long, long day. Time to take Nikki out, and it's time to go to bed. Well, the Cracker Barrel did not disappoint again last night. We had a great night's sleep here. Now it's time for our first real stop today, which will be in Dodge City. And these are all new states for us. We've never been in Arkansas. We've never been in Oklahoma. And obviously never been in Kansas. So these are all new experiences. But after last night's driving, we were about ready to turn around and head home. I'm not kidding you. It was terrible going through Memphis. We had construction. We had roads that were horrible. We had basically the road construction was telling us that there was going to be a lower bridge, even though we were using our RV Life app, but it didn't know that we were being rerouted through all this construction. So it was quite stressful last night, to say the least. And then we ended up getting out of that, and we ended up hitting fog, and the fog was terrible. And it was to the point where you couldn't see, a car length ahead of you.
We needed Rudolph.
Well, at that point, we needed to stop because I was tired, and I just was going to give it up and stop at a rest area and sleep there, but there was no parking spaces available, so we had to push on here to the Cracker Barrel. Glad we did in the long run. Now we still have 600 miles left today, but I think most of it will be in the daylight today, so that's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to having a couple nights rest without having to move once we get to Dodge City. So it's Christmas Eve right now, and we're going to be spending Christmas Day in Dodge City.
So I was looking at the map on the phone and looking at all the different places that we're going to be going to on this trip, looking at all the states that we're going to be seeing. And I have a question. We're talking about getting one of those maps where you can put like stickers or magnets on all the places that you've been to. If you have one of those, do you put the magnet or sticker on there when you've stayed there, or do you put it on there when you travel through? Because I'm thinking you actually have to stay there. in order to be able to put the magnet or sticker on the map. I don't know. What do you do? We are going to be seeing a lot of states this time. And I'm really excited because it's going to be brand new for us. Arkansas. We're in Arkansas right now. This is the first time ever being here. It's pretty neat. Experiencing new places. We're 20 miles from Oklahoma. That's our next state we've never been to.
I have to say that we are really definitely enjoying the motorhome traveling with this long marathon style trip. Even though we had some issues last night with roads around Memphis and all that stuff, it is so nice to be self-contained. Just pull off in a rest area here like this. I wouldn't even have to get out if it weren't for Nikki to go to the bathroom. Literally just stay in the RV, and which would be nice on a day like today. It's raining, but it's just really nice being like all self-contained with the generator and all that. We're enjoying that, being able to kick that on, run the microwave, cook a little lunch, and then get back on the road. It seems like it's saving us time too. But we are in Oklahoma now. We're stopped here at a rest area. It's kind of cool, these rest areas have dump stations for RVs. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe hitting that dump station right there. But then again, it's raining and it's kind of nasty, so we're going to be at the KOA later today with full hookups, so I'll probably just wait. But we're going to get back on the road. We got about 400, I think I said 460 miles left today. So we got some driving ahead of us.
This is cool. There's train tracks right in the median. I've never seen that before.
We are in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now.
Yep. I wish there was a train there. That'd be pretty neat.
I'd be like, can you hear the train coming? No, because there's no train. Man, I just took Nikki out just for a couple minutes to potty here at this rest area. We are in Kansas. We're getting close to Wichita, and I'm going to say that Kansas is living up to the hype as far as the wind goes, because it's blowing us around like crazy all over the road, and the wind chill out there is freezing. And we're sitting here having our dinner break, and the whole RV is just going like this.
Shake it
just
back
sitting
up.
here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We have made it to the KOA in Dodge. It's cold, guys. There's the snow. Oh, it's snowing good now. Wow. Well, Allie's been decorating the RV this morning. It's Christmas morning here in Dodge City, and we woke up to, well, probably frozen pipes, because we have no hot water on the hot water side of anything coming out. We have nothing in the kitchen side at all. So I think there's some frozen lines in this kitchen slide. So we took to Facebook, Allie took to Facebook, went on the forums, and some people suggested to open up the access port underneath the dinette and blow heat in there, which we did a little bit. We're also blowing some heat underneath the access panel to the shower, because the hot water heater sits right underneath there, and apparently something's froze up in the hot water heater side, because we have water, on the cold water side everywhere else except for the kitchen slide and the refrigerator. It's supposed to get above freezing here in a little bit. I'm hoping that the lines thaw. If they don't, then we're going to have to go to plan B and probably try to figure out, like a hair dryer, try to figure out where the frozen part is. So if we can't get the pipes unfrozen tonight, we're going to Pueblo, Colorado tomorrow. Right now in Pueblo, it's even colder than it is here, but they're calling for warmer weather. If that holds true, it should be above freezing during the day. Hopefully this will resolve itself to where I can get under there and insulate the pipes and try to find any exposed piping, because it looks like they have insulation on some of the pipe and some it just like stops short, and I don't understand for the life of me why you put it on a little bit but not all of it. That's goes back to the whole quality control issues with the RVs nowadays. It's kind of ridiculous. So we're gonna hope and pray that we get hot water back here as the day warms up, and then try to take care of it tomorrow, because everything's closed today. I can't go anywhere to buy anything like insulation for the pipes. It's Merry Christmas here in Dodge City.
Merry Christmas.
we are getting ready to go out and explore the town of Dodge City.
Yeah, we're not going to let this little water incident affect our day. We're going to have a great day. It's beautiful here, and it's snowing today.
And we have so much to be thankful for.
Yes, we do.
So who cares? We don't have any hot water right now or any water in our kitchen sink. Hey,
we have water.
We have water. At least we can go to the bathroom, and that's the main thing, honestly. Yeah. And then if we have to take a shower and we can't take a shower on this trip, well, then we're just going to go home pretty stinky.
And we won't care because we both will be stinking.
That's right. But our plan is to check out Dodge City today, and then we're heading to Pueblo, Colorado tomorrow. So what are we going to do tomorrow?
We're getting the hell out of Dodge, and then we can say, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Exactly. But, one thing. It's snow flurrying. Christmas morning. Snow flurries. We did not expect to have snow flurries here, so we're pretty excited about that. I don't think it's going to stick.
It's sunny at the same time, which I think is gorgeous.
Yeah, and windy. It's still windy. So, all right, we're going to go explore and show you guys what we find in Dodge City. So we hopped in the Bronco and just headed basically just a couple streets over to the Boot Hill Museum from the campground where we were staying, knowing that the Boot Hill Museum would be closed on Christmas Day, obviously. But we thought that there might be a chance that we could actually, walk down the old West Town street. But that was not the case because you have to go through the museum to get to that area. It's all fenced in. We would have loved to have seen the Great Western Hotel inside too, but it just wasn't in the cards. But we did get to go and sit with Doc Holliday statue, which is out front in the parking lot of the Boot Hill Museum. Got to get a picture with Doc Holliday here.
Hey, Doc.
What's up, Doc? We are starting to see some snow sticking here at the visitor center. And got a little snow on the ground. Went up here to see the Marshall Dillon statue. For visitor information. It is so windy here right now. Oh my goodness. Marshall Matt Dillon. That's cool. I'm just going to have to put pictures up here of the actual statue of Wyatt Earp because apparently either we didn't film, we thought we were filming, or we were just so cold at that point we were like, heck with it, and just took a couple pictures. But they do have the Wyatt Earp statue downtown too, and there was a lot of construction going on around that. So our next stop was at the Mueller Schmid house, built in 1881, supposed to be the oldest brick stone home in Dodge City, and it is on the Historic National Register, I do believe. Also has a statue of Bat Masterson out front, which wasn't expecting. So this is a statue of Bat Masterson here at the Home of Stone, which I didn't realize. I didn't realize they had a statue of him here at the Home of Stone. This is cool. So, Bat Masterson, famous from Dodge City, famous from Tombstone. Looks like he's having a shot of whiskey right here. I could use a shot of whiskey right now. Pretty daggone cold. We were sure not expecting snow on Christmas Day here in Dodge. The forecast did not call for any of this before we left on our trip, so pretty excited to see snow. So with the wind and the temperatures just being so outright frigid for us Floridians, we did a lot of driving around downtown, checking out such things as some very awesome artwork murals on buildings. We love murals on buildings. It seems like something that's really coming back in vogue. But it was pretty much a ghost town, no pun intended. I mean, there was not a lot of people out. Obviously, everything was closed. So we pretty much had the town to ourselves, just driving around, enjoying taking in the sights as much as we could. We did get out and check out the statue that Dennis Hopper had commissioned here. We are here at the Mobile Man, La Salsa Man. It's interesting that Dennis Hopper was behind having this put here. And we did learn after taking a few minutes to read that placard out front that Dennis Hopper was born and lived, I think, until he was like 10 or 11 years old in Dodge City, and his family moved to San Diego. So we were kind of wondering why Dennis Hopper would have that statue commissioned there. But since he was born and raised there for the first part of his life, it makes sense. Then we headed on over to Fort Dodge. Now, Fort Dodge was just a few miles up the road, and kind of didn't really know what to expect. I kind of thought it was going to be a literal fort, but it was more of a town. I guess Fort Dodge is kind of like a town built around where the fort used to be. There was a lot of old historic buildings here. Again, we stayed in the car, enjoyed just viewing all the old buildings from the warmth and comfort of our Bronco. We Floridians are just not made to handle the wind chills that we were encountering there. The cold is one thing, but boy, the wind was making things hurt, literally. As you guys follow our channel, you probably know we love our history. We love looking at old buildings, old towns, and Fort Dodge was another little gem that we found that did not disappoint. Wow, we are in the middle of a blizzard. This is what is supposed to be our last night here in Dodge City, because we're ready to get the hell out of Dodge, as we said. But depending on what tomorrow brings, we may be staying here another night. Just don't know.
Yep.
Weather has really changed quickly out here.
It's definitely a white Christmas.
Yeah. We noticed on our way back in, that there was a lot of Christmas lights over in this little park next to the campground there at the KOA. So we thought, well, we're here, we might as well take advantage. Let's go out, let's drive, let's check out some of the Christmas lights downtown. We first went over to the Boot Hill Museum again to check out the Christmas trees, and we thought the train would be lit up because we saw lights on the train when we were there in the daytime, but it wasn't lit up, so I'm not sure why. But they did have the tree and some decorations outside the visitor center. But then we headed on over to the park, and we drove through the park. Doesn't matter how old you get, it never gets old looking at Christmas lights, in my opinion. So we spent a good bit of time driving through up and down every little street inside the park and just checking out all the Christmas lights. Day 2, no shower, no hot water, and now this morning we wake up and we have no water anywhere in the rig. So we can't flush a toilet. We can't even go into the bathroom sink and wash dishes. So it's now when we have to go to the bathroom, we have to use fresh water out of our water bottles to flush. Are supposed to be driving to Pueblo, Colorado this morning for the next 4 nights. If we could just get to Pueblo, we'd be fine, because Pueblo the winds are not blowing there, and it's going to be like a high of like 45 today, so everything should thaw out. But it's getting there, and we have to drive a 2-lane road for 6 hours basically to get there, and the winds are supposed to be gusting over 30 miles an hour. There's some snow between here and there. So I don't know what we're going to do. We may end up just having to go into the office, pay for another day here, or see if they can transfer one of our days from that KOA to here. I don't know if they can do that, but we're going to have to figure something out. Our neighbors lost their slide topper on the driver's side. Just had to rip the whole thing off. I was concerned about that with ours this morning. Our bedroom slide was really, you could really hear the wind hitting it. But as soon as I got up here, I said, let's run the bed in and get it protected. Okay, we're hooked up. We're getting taken to the Dodge right now. Wind is not too bad. It's not snowing too bad right now. Checked the roads, drove a little bit, and it seemed like things were pretty good, so we're gonna try. Helicopter, Allie. We are on Skyline Drive. Allie's about to have a heart attack.
Babe, I don't know if I can go back down this hill.
You can.
I may have to walk.